I saw a photo of myself and I was like, oh, like I didn't realize I was that big.
In your everyday life, when you're looking in the mirror and stuff, you didn't see it as a problem?
It just wasn't really an option for me to fail.
Because I can assume that would be dangerous as well to some extent.
I wouldn't go out and eat with my friends.
Growing up, what was your support system like as a child when you was overweight?
And someone made a comment, they were like, oh, like you need to run fast enough, and by the looks of it, like you need to get in shape.
Then I get into this place where like I just feel sad.
Yeah.
So then what I start doing is I start looking for music that makes me feel what I'm feeling even more, and I'm gone.
So crazy though, because like there's a lot of blocks in my childhood, and I wonder why. Like I wonder what I'm trying to block out.
Welcome to Inner Child podcast. This is episode 4, I believe. Mm-hmm. Episode 5, just in case it's not, so I'll cut it out.
Okay.
Today we have a great guest, works at Sony. We have Naz.
Hey.
For those that don't know you, I would love for you to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, because I don't think I'll do it justice.
Okay. Well, yes, I'm Naz. I do work at Sony. I work at Sony Music, and I'm a manager there. I manage international releases. So everything that's not Arabic, I manage those releases and artists here in the region.
Which is one of the best jobs I believe you could have. Like,
it's a
and that's
cool
how I
job.
started. I started in the music industry.
Yeah.
I worked in Lab Nation.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And that's how I started everything.
Yeah, I love the industry. Like I love entertainment, music, radio, like anything that kind of gives people an experience. I love it.
But international artists as well. So they come in and they already want an experience. So
yeah.
Look, I want to start the podcast with asking the question about your childhood. Like, what was your childhood like? Mm-hmm. Like, take me through your years between, like, as far as you remember, so 4 up until about 12, 13. What was your childhood like?
You know, it's so weird because I don't even think I remember back until 4. But I can just, like, remember vaguely, like, my family, like I'm half Egyptian, half Lebanese, and my mom, she's Lebanese. Her family live in Melbourne, and I'm from Sydney. So I remember I have a lot of memories of like them coming to Sydney, and I have a lot of cousins as well. So us all like hanging out and having sleepovers. And I also have memories of like us going to Egypt and spending time with the family over there. So I have a huge family, and yeah, so that part of my childhood is really nice memories. And school memories, they're okay. Like I was very different in school. I think I was a lot more like angrier as a person.
What do you mean? What do you mean by angry?
I think like I was really overweight, and I was also just, I don't know, I was different. Like if you know me now, I'm very like easygoing. I'm very like positive. I'm quite like chilled. Whereas I think if you knew me back then, if you speak to like my mom or my sister or my cousins or even my friends, they'll tell you that I was just like a little brat. I was just annoyed and angry at, like I hated the world. So
Really? The world.
Yeah, it sounds dramatic. Like it wasn't that dramatic, but
you know when people say, I've heard that expression quite a bit, where they say like I hate the world.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
I just like, for me it was like
Just hate everyone?
Like, yeah, like I just hated everyone, and I was angry, and I felt like I would just blame everyone else for anything. Like
anything that went wrong was their fault.
What?
Anything that went wrong was their fault.
Yeah, like never my fault. But I guess like I'm a kid, so I didn't really have that self-awareness or whatever. But then I completely changed, so it's not at all who I am.
How old was you when you completely changed?
I think I started to change maybe at 18 or so, or 17. That's when like I slowly started to change. And then once I became conscious enough about it, then I continued to change and then got better and better. And then now I'm here.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on was to talk about your transformation journey from overweight to who you are now.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you about the whole journey from start to the end, but I want you to talk me through the journey. So like, what was you feeling when you decided to make that change? What was going through your mind? And when you started seeing results, like, how did you feel, and how did you keep motivated? Was there anything that inspired you to get there? Yeah, like talk me through the whole journey from the moment you decided to make that switch.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I just started to kind of become conscious of like me and my brain and like just overall who I was at around 17, 18. But it wasn't until I would say maybe like 5-6 years ago now that I saw a photo of myself and I was like, oh, like I didn't realize that I was that big. And I was always confident, so it didn't really matter.
So like you just saw a photo.
Yeah, I saw a photo and I didn't realize I was that big. But I think what actually changed me the most was that something kind of like switched in my brain. And I was like, if I ever want to become successful in any capacity, how can I do that if I can't control what I'm eating? Like it was just a random thought that just stuck with me one day. And then when I saw the photo as well, I was like, oh, like I'm way bigger than I thought. Like I just saw myself as like just really overweight.
So like in your everyday life when you're looking in the mirror and stuff, you didn't see it as a problem?
No, not really. Like I had my moments, of course, like if I was like trying on clothes or whatever, I'd be a bit frustrated because it didn't look good or nothing fit me. But overall, I was quite confident. I didn't really see it as much of an issue. And then one day I did. And then I just decided to change.
So when you decided to change, what was the first step you took?
I just started eating healthy to begin with. So I think like everyone knows what's healthy, what they should or shouldn't do on like a very surface level.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. So I didn't know anything. All I knew was that I'm just not going to eat as much as I used to, and I'm going to eat healthier. And I told myself like on the weekends, I can just do whatever I want in terms of eating.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I did. So I just kind of cut out all the things that I loved. And I was like super strict. I didn't know that I could like incorporate a lot of different foods into my diet. So I just basically had like salad or like grilled fish or chicken or whatever with like rice and steamed vegetables, like, you know, the boring basic things. And then on the weekends, I would just eat whatever. Like I wouldn't indulge, but I would just let myself have whatever I wanted. And then I did that for a while.
So like,
Yeah.
Okay, so was you overweight for majority of your childhood up into your teens, or was it later on in life?
No, I was overweight for most of it. I think when I was like young, maybe like 5, 6, 7 and back, I was really, really skinny. And then I don't know, I just love food. So, I don't really know like how I got overweight or whatever. I do actually know because like we're foodies, the types of food that I consumed at home and stuff, and the portions were really big. But I don't know why.
Traditional food?
Yeah, it is like traditional food. So I guess actually, I mean, I don't know why I was skinny at one point. Yeah.
Okay, so like when you saw that photo, what was it that said to you like, I need to change?
I didn't like it. I didn't like
because if you think about it, like that picture is you, and you see yourself every day in the mirror.
Yeah.
So what was it about this picture that was like, whoa?
I just looked really big, like bigger than I thought.
Could it have been like the camera lens issue or?
No, I don't think so. Because when I look back at like that same day or that same period, like no, I was really big. Like my face was like double the size it is now. Like, I was just really, really big. So.
Okay. So fine. So you started off with eating healthy.
Yeah.
When you started, how long into the journey did you start seeing like real progress? Was it quick, or was it something that was?
No, it wasn't super quick. Maybe like a couple of months in, I was like, okay, like I kind of got the hang of it, and I wasn't really budging, and like budging in terms of like, I didn't really fail in terms of eating. Like I kind of stuck to my plan. Like during the week I'll do this, and on the weekends I'll do that. So it really kept me going because I was like, it's okay. Like on the weekend I'll have whatever it is that I want to have. And I think in a couple of months in is when I started to feel lighter, and my clothes fit different, or I moved like a size down in my clothes. So of course that really motivated me.
That's you know what? Speaking about that, it's quite interesting because there's so many times, like I've tried to start a diet, tried to be healthy.
Yeah.
After one day, I give up.
Yeah.
And it's like for me, it's like figuring out what to eat is the hardest thing to do.
Yes, it is.
Sticking to a schedule, especially my schedule where it's all over the place. I'll have shoots in the day, sometimes I'll have it in the night. So like I don't really have a stuck schedule. So I find that difficult.
Yeah.
Which is interesting when you're saying like, at least you're like, okay, but it's just Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, I can kind of like be a bit reckless with it and then go back to it on Monday to Friday.
Yeah. And I did that because like, if I didn't do that, it's kind of like, you're working towards something. So it's like a reward on the weekends. I ended up I ended up taking that away eventually, but I just did that at the beginning to kind of build maybe that discipline. But back then I didn't even really know about like discipline or anything like that. Like I really just said like, I want to lose weight and this is what I have to do to lose weight. And then I did it.
So was it like one of those situations where like, I'm just talking from personal experience where like I would start something, do it sick for like 2 weeks. And then the third week I'm like going downhill. Did you find yourself in those situations?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I think like alongside my weight loss, I kind of got into the whole like self-development topics.
Okay. Yeah.
So as I was kind of losing weight and feeling good and being motivated and all of that, I was also like listening to podcasts and reading things that helped me really understand like the power of my brain and discipline. So I don't know, like it just wasn't really an option for me to fail.
Okay.
Before this moment, I had tried to like diet so many times and I would like lose weight and put it back on and lose weight and put it back on. But this time was so different. And I purely think it's because like I was educating myself on how my brain works.
What kept you motivated?
I don't know. I don't think I was always motivated. Like I have strong discipline. I taught myself actually strong discipline. Like,
But did you teach yourself that during the process?
yeah, it was during the process.
So as you're teaching yourself this discipline, wasn't there a moment where like you're like, oh, like I can't do this. Like I was okay. Like why am I doing this to myself? And
yeah, oh my God, yes. If anyone knows, it's my mum. I like there are so many moments where I just like I was so annoyed because I'm hungry. Like I'm really hungry and I want to eat. And I think the food that I was eating, maybe it wasn't even enough. I didn't know back then. Like I wasn't counting my calories or my macros or anything. But eventually I learned, but there was a huge chunk where I feel like I was just so strict, but I wouldn't give in. Like I wasn't feeling good in terms of like I was hungry and irritated and frustrated because I feel like I just want to look better than I did at that moment. But then I'm like also seeing results, which I'm like, okay, I really want to keep getting the results. So
I guess that also works as motivation, those little milestones, those little goals that you go through.
Yeah.
Was there like a time where like because I'm just trying to think like if you are overweight and you're going through this journey, how did you set yourself an end goal? Like was there a size or was you just kind of just blindly doing it until you felt good? Or because I can assume that would be dangerous as well to some extent.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, definitely. Eventually there was goals. So as I learned more about like calories and macros and muscle and how to build muscle, that's when I had goals, like a weight goal or what I wanted my body to look like. And that's where I feel like it got, I wouldn't say dangerous. I don't think I really got there. Even though when I look back, I'm like, I was really tiny. And in my brain, I still wasn't small enough.
Really?
Yeah. So like I was really skinny. And I'm really short as well. So overall I was just small. But then I remember thinking in the moment, like, no, I still had so much more weight to lose. But then that was like just before I moved to Dubai where I was at my absolute skinniest. And then I moved here and I put on weight, which like...
How long ago did you move here?
I moved February 2020.
Okay. So this journey was quite recent.
Yeah. So I've been here since February 2020.
Yeah.
And so I was at my skinniest like to the end of 2019. And yeah, I mean, even when I look back at it now, like I really liked being that small. But when I think about like my habits and what I was, my social life and how I was, I don't think it's like a very sustainable way to live life. Like I wouldn't go out and eat with my friends, or sometimes like I would pre-eat, or I would bring food with me if I wanted, like if I could. I was doing maybe like 20,000 steps a day. I was working out 6 times a week. Like it was really my whole life, which maybe was fine back then because that was my life, but it's so not sustainable. Like, you know, you need to live life, and food is a huge part of life as well. So whilst like I really kind of liked how I looked, I also think about like life, like, okay, what do I prefer? Like enjoying life overall, or being so restrictive and not really having that like life.
Yeah. That takes me to my next question.
Yeah.
Which is, were there any like challenges or habits formed in your childhood that you had to confront or overcome during your weight loss journey? So because you told me like you know you was overweight like most of your childhood, all the way up until your teens. So was there any habits that you formed or challenges you faced while you was overweight that you had to also overcome, as well as the weight loss journeys?
Yeah, I think like eating when I'm not really even hungry, and like more for comfort. So, and like actually understanding, am I hungry, or
What is comfort eating?
comfort eating is like when you're just
Like what
eating.
is that?
You know, like it gives you like endorphins. Is that the right? Yeah, endorphins. Like when you're eating something that it tastes good, like you feel good, it tastes good, like, you know, so it's comfort.
Yeah, but what does it do? Like, does it make you feel? I don't know. What
It
like?
makes you feel good. It's just like when someone like drinks, or actually that's not a good example, because like it's like, so when someone smokes, you know, like it just kind of gives them that dopamine hit, that kind of, and then you just go back to your day. Like it's just for a moment. So like comfort would be eating what it is that you want and feeling good in the moment. But then like it's just temporary, but it makes you feel good in the moment.
Okay, so it's not. Okay, so it's not something that like that would make you feel like I get confused with comfort. Like I've heard a lot of people say that, and I don't think I've ever had that. I don't think I've ever had that comfort eating habit in my life. So I'd never understood it, but I can always hear. But I always hear females say it.
Yeah,
like
interesting.
a lot of them say it. I've never really heard a guy say it, but they always say like it's like comfort food. And some dishes they will describe it as comfort food.
Yeah,
like chocolate.
Oh, okay. For me, it's not. I don't have a sweet tooth. For me, it would be something like pizza, or like something heavy, like a burger, or like pasta, like something really like calorie dense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so comfort food.
Yeah.
So how did you tackle that habit?
I think I learned like a lot about my brain and how like us as humans function and how our brain functions. So it started with weight loss. And I remember someone was telling me once that when you start to lose weight, like everybody's body has a kind of comfort level. So let's say, for example, you weigh 50 kilos and you're trying to lose weight. So you want to be like 45 kilos. I don't know why I started so low.
yeah, I was about to say, I was like, what? Let's start again, 70 kilos.
Okay, yeah.
My weight.
I don't know. Okay. Anyways, so let's say you start. Okay.
Let's do my weight, 70 kilos.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you're 70 kilos and you want to drop to 60 kilos. Your body is used to you being at 70 kilos. Mm-hmm. And so when you start to drop below that, your body will try and make you comfortable. So it will tell you that you're hungry so you can stay at that 70 kilos.
Okay.
So someone told me this when I was kind of telling them that I plateaued in my weight loss. And so they said like everyone has a baseline and you just kind of need to push through that and then you'll have a new baseline. So let's say you're 70 and then you drop to 65 and you maintain that for a while, then 65 will be your new baseline and your body won't send you signals to get back to the 70 anymore. So once I learned that, I kind of learned how our brain works in general in terms of comfort. And how our brain will always, it just wants to keep us safe. So our habits that we have, regardless of if they're good or bad, like it's comfort for our brains. And when we try to change something, even if it's good for us, our brains really don't like it because it's unfamiliar. So for me, when I make decisions that I know are good for me, I like kind of override my brain telling me to eat something or to do something that I know is not the direction I should be going. So I did that long enough because I knew that like, have I eaten enough? Yes, I have. Or like, what is my goal? What did I tell myself that I need to do? So regardless of what my brain tried to bring me back to, I just overrode it.
Was it hard?
Yes, it's really hard. But I
can't imagine that's like an overnight thing. I can imagine that takes.
It took a lot of time. It did take a lot of time, but I did it so much that now it's just my natural state. So like you can really change the way that your brain works if you just keep at it. Like you tell your brain, like, because your brain will always try to tell you, but then you tell your brain and eventually your brain will listen. So it was really hard to begin with, but I would always just say to myself, like, for what? Like just this little like temporary pleasure. Like, no.
Okay, so one thing that I would love to know is what was your like support system like? Because I can imagine like there's so many factors that must play into it, like culture, culture, family, friends, people you're around, especially in school, playground, jokes, all these things. So like growing up, what was your support system like as a child when you was overweight? Did anyone make you feel comfortable even though you was overweight? Like, did anyone still make you feel like there was nothing wrong with you? And of course, I know most of our parents might do. But like, what was your support system like as a child or as a teen?
My parents were fine. Like, they didn't really say anything. But it definitely, like in school, like got comments about my weight. I actually remember the first time, like someone said something and we were playing like, it was like Oztag. I don't know if you know what
Oztag?
Yeah, Oztag is like an Australian, it's football, but you have like tags.
Oh yeah, we call it tag
tackling,
football.
What is it called?
Tag football.
Oh, okay, yes.
So you pull the tag, right?
Yeah, you pull the tag. So we were playing that, like it was just in school. And so, like, I don't know, I was running or something. And someone made a comment. They were like, like you need to run fast enough. And by the looks of it, like you need to get in shape. That's the first, yeah, I know.
Such a school
I know,
joke.
And it was by a guy as well, but like, I don't remember feeling upset, but that's the first memory I have of someone like commenting about my weight. I think in terms of like family, like extended, like my whole family, there's always comments about weight, but I feel like.
So who was your support system in those times?
I think my mom, like, she was like, like if you want to eat, and if you want to lose weight. Like, she was just easygoing.
You should like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, people did comment a lot about my weight, but not as much as you might think, or one might think. Like, it came up here and there, but I wasn't like overly bullied for it especially in high school. Like, it wasn't much of a thing. I think like, if anything, it was me towards me.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, more than anyone else.
I feel like today's day and age, I don't think anyone can get away with it. Like, do you know what I mean? Because with social media, especially, like what they portray as perfect, people can compare you no matter what.
Of course. And, weight at the end of the day, like, or what you look like, shouldn't really matter as long as you're kind of healthy, because there's two sides to it. I know people who are overweight in terms of what they look like, but then their lifestyle is quite healthy and balanced. So is it really an issue? Not necessarily.
What was your lifestyle like? Was it healthy or
no? Not at all.
No.
I'm such a foodie, and I can really stomach a lot of food. So I would eat huge portions. Like, I was eating a lot, and I wasn't active.
Okay.
But then now, like, it's so different.
So I guess from what I'm hearing is like you didn't have a support system necessarily because you didn't need one.
Yeah, I guess so. I never really, it wasn't really a thing. Like, I didn't really speak about it. When I wanted to lose weight, it's funny because like people support you when they think you can't. And then when you do, people all of a sudden don't like it.
What do you mean?
Sometimes I think people are so supportive because they don't think that you can change.
Oh, because they want to show that they support it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, whatever. And then when you actually do it, it's like, oh, like you're too skinny, you need to stop now. Or like, how come you're skinnier than me? Or like,
oh, wow.
you know, these things.
Yeah. That became competition now.
Yeah, even though it's like one-sided, like who are you in competition with? Because it's just me and me. But, you know, other people would look. And I think that a lot of people get triggered when you do something that they think that you can't do, and then they don't do it themselves. So like, you know, when someone around you does something that you might want to do, or they achieve something, and because it's like too close to home, like they've been brought up in the same way, or they've, you know, shared the same experiences. When you kind of break that and like excel, people don't really like it. So
yeah, you know what? It's true, because like I've been noticing that recently as well. Like a lot of us come from the same place, and then like looking back, like we all came from the same school, same kind of similar upbringing, same people around us, and only a handful of us have ventured into different paths. But the ones that didn't do anything still think that we should be where they're at, whereas for us, we think they should be where we're at.
Yeah.
And I don't say that in a negative way, but I just feel like for example, like I have a friend who hasn't really done anything since he left school.
Okay.
He didn't go university.
Yeah.
He just finished after, I don't know what grade you guys do, but year 11 is like the last year of high school before college.
Okay, we have until year 12.
Year 12.
Yeah.
And then college as in like college, or college as in university?
You can go to university or you can go to college. So I don't, like we have 7 to 12 is high school, and then you graduate high school, and then you can go to university.
Okay, for us was 7 to 11 was high school.
Okay.
12 and 13 was college, and then you go to university.
Oh, okay. We don't have that. We don't have the college.
Oh, you don't have the
all.
college. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So for us, so year 11, after year 11, he just done what he wanted to do. Didn't do no more education. I went through the education process. I went college, went uni, and obviously moved out here. And like when we're talking about just general things, for him, it's always like, remember back in the days we used to do this and this and that. And for me, I'm just like, you know, I'm like, and I feel bad. I can't talk about what I have going on now because one, I believe in evil eye, so I don't really like talking about what I have going on now. But the other reason is as well is because I don't want to be in competition with my peers.
Yeah,
like it's no competition to me.
And this like secret competition is very damaging, and having these people around you is probably the worst thing that you can do. To have people around you who feel like they're in a competition that they've created in their brains. And it usually is the people who feel like they were at some point on that same wavelength and level as you, and then you've gone and done better, because, you know, everyone is different.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of still in the same position. And so then they create a kind of competition, or they start to kind of downplay what you've done or feel a type of way about it, when if they wanted to, they could. So
one I heard this thing recently, and it's such an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like talking about timelines, right? So, for example, let's say for me, my timeline is the timeline I'm on now, and maybe I found success at the age of 25.
Yeah.
Whereas someone else that I might know is 30 and is where I was maybe when I was 15 years old, like nothing going for them.
Yeah.
Right? But the concept was like, we should always be grateful, for sure. We should always look out for one another, especially if we have love for them. The reason why is because every high has a low. So we might find success at 25, but maybe you'll lose it all at 30.
Yeah.
And whereas for the other person, 30 comes 35 and he might find success. And everyone's on different timelines. And
it's so true.
And we look at everyone else, like we look at what's happening on social media, it's like, wow, we're not there. But that timeline thing, that concept was so interesting, because I was just like, it's true. Like, why are we looking at what other person achieved? Because our time could be coming either way.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're religious, then you know that, you know, everything is already written for us.
Yeah.
And everyone does have their own timeline, and everyone has their own life as well. And we do compare. I think like healthy comparison is fine, but comparing to someone else.
But define healthy comparison.
Sorry?
But define healthy comparison.
Let's say, for example, I have a goal to make, I don't know, like 50,000, and right now I'm like at 30, and you know someone else is at 50K or 60K, and I'm kind of comparing like, okay, what are they doing different to me? What can I implement? How can I achieve that? And I'm just kind of comparing in that way. I think it's quite healthy and normal. But where it becomes damaging is like, why them and not me? Or I should be where they are, and like they're doing better than I am. And I don't really believe that. I think everyone has seasons, and every one of us is going to experience the same thing. We're going to experience like happy times and sad times. We're going to like win something. We're going to fail at something. So the whole comparing is just not really necessary, because everyone's going to go through it regardless of who you are, what you have, how successful you are. Like, it's just life. You're going to have an up and you're going to have a down. You're going to have so many of these in your life. So this is just like, we should kind of remove this thought process of someone is better than us, or they have something different like that we should have. I think also at the same time, we should only focus on what we are doing and what we can do, and then go towards it. Because sometimes people get stuck in a loop of comparison or envy or jealousy, but they're not even putting in any kind of work towards anything. And then they want to sit there and say, well, why them? Or why did they get there? Or like, why am I still here? But then they're not willing to take accountability or change anything.
Did you ever go through that when you was on your weight loss journey? Like, why them? Why are they? Because I can imagine once you started the journey, you start to question like, oh, like, why did I not even see this as a problem? Or why did I not want to be like this person? But now that I'm on a journey, I want to be like this person. I want to, did you have that envy, that jealousy at that time?
I wouldn't say envy, no. Jealousy for sure. I think like it's human nature. So I definitely like would look at someone and be jealous of the way that their body looked. I did.
I think I ripped my jeans. Shit. I just ripped it. Okay, so, now I don't know how to sit now.
It's okay. I'm sure the camera can't even see it.
Hopefully, yeah. Is the camera picked up from the top? Okay, good. So you didn't have envy, but you had jealousy.
Yeah.
So how does that play into your motivation as you're doing this journey? Like, does it because I can imagine, like, for me, it's not envious, it's not jealousy, but it's like inspiration for me when I see a videographer that creates like such amazing videos. I'm like, wow, like I want to create something like that. And it motivates and inspires me. But do you have that in a transformative journey where like you see someone that's done, like was overweight, lost journey, you're just like, I want to be like this person, like this is my goal? Yeah,
I remember there's like this one account that I used to always look at, and she was like way more overweight than I ever was, maybe like double me at my heaviest. And I would always kind of look to her for motivation, because I'm like, if she can do it, of course I can do it. Like she was just, her lifestyle seemed like it was way worse than mine, and her habits seemed way worse than mine ever were. So I would always look and be like, okay, like if she is, you know, this disciplined, then of course like I can, because I'm going to go back to like healthy comparison. Like it's, you know, comparing, it's like, okay, if someone is in a similar lifestyle as me and then they change, then great. That means that I can too, because they're similar to me. So I would look at like weight loss stories and journeys and compare in the sense of, okay, like they were just like me, so I can do it. And like if they're able to not give in to like their temptations or their hunger when unnecessary, then I can as well. So
where do you feel like you are right now in your journey?
In my weight loss journey?
Yeah. Do you feel like you've finished the journey, or is it like, where are you?
I think one thing about losing weight is that, like, I don't know if I'll ever I don't think it will ever be an end of a journey, because I'm always cautious of putting my weight back on. So right now I have like a very healthy relationship with food. I'm very healthy overall in terms of my lifestyle, like how active I am, how I go to the gym. Like I would say like I've built a lifestyle, so I'll never ever kind of go back to the way I was ever again. It's like instilled in me now. So that's where I'm at. Like, but would I want to be smaller or like have a better body? It's always on my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, because I can assume as you grow older, losing weight can be a lot harder.
I'm noticing.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, like.
So do you get scared? Like, okay, like if I, fall off the rails for a second and like just go back to old habits, or because I can imagine like you might not go back to old habits, but you might pick up a new habit, and you might think, oh, it's just something small, but in a compound, it could be damaging.
Yeah.
And then so are you conscious about these things, like these new habits?
Yes, I'm very conscious about them. When I moved to Dubai, this did happen, and I think I put on like.
Yeah, they call it Dubai weight, don't they?
Yeah, like,
I did the same.
And it was also COVID as well. So I think I put on like overall in like, I don't know how many, like a year or just over. I probably put on close to 10, which like, it's a lot. It's a lot to put on, especially for someone who, it's just wasn't fun times. So I had to definitely create new habits here for myself. Back home, I just had a routine and a lifestyle that I lived. And then so it makes sense that I would put on weight here. So I had to really be conscious of what is making me put on the weight and then how I can then form new habits. So then I ended up losing that weight anyways, the weight that I put back on. But I've never been at my smallest since being here in Dubai.
Really?
Yeah.
I know they call it Dubai weight. When I moved here, I started gaining weight, but I only get on my belly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like that kind of guy where like everything else is skinny.
Yeah.
But like my belly is just, I'm getting like, in our culture, we call it curry belly. Because all of our granddads, our dads all have got just a belly, but everything else is skinny.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm becoming like them.
Yeah.
But again, like for me, I didn't have a relationship with food like that.
Yeah, which is a blessing, I think.
Yeah. So like I can go days, I can honestly go days without eating. I can skip meals.
That's
I know it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But like food isn't a thing for me where it's just like, I need food. Yeah, I get hungry and things like that.
So you do need food then?
I do need food, but I won't, like if I miss lunch, I'm not like, oh, I miss lunch.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. Like if I miss a meal, like I don't even think about it. I'll just eat whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like learning that like food is just to fuel you and that's it. And then you can obviously indulge in food when like here and there, but overall like it shouldn't be like a huge part of your life in both ways, in the way of like you're always eating or it's comfort, and also in the opposite where you don't eat because whatever it might be.
I think the good thing about being in Dubai is that everyone that I've met so far are very conscious about their health, their well-being,
Interesting
activities and like exercising, which is unique because like, I'm sure Australia is kind of similar to London, but like we don't really care that deep. We don't have sun.
Yeah, no,
for us to worry.
Australia's very, very, very healthy.
Really?
Yeah, because like, going for a walk along the beach and like eating well and being active is a huge part of Australian culture. So I think that's probably why I was more of that over there than I am here.
Okay.
Also, everyone's really skinny. Like Aussie girls are just slim. Yeah. Whereas I find here in Dubai, people don't really have a healthy lifestyle. People drink a lot here and they're always out and they're not conscious of what they're eating. Of course, there's like different scenes. So of course, like there are people who are very into their fitness and their health and what they're consuming. But if I was to generalize, I would have a different opinion. Scene? Yeah, party scene, or people like are just lazy.
Really?
Yeah, maybe that sounds a bit harsh, but I just feel a lot of people are quite lazy in this sense. And Dubai makes it easy to be lazy. Like that's true. At any moment, I can have food delivered so quickly and
anything.
Anything. Yeah. Like it's so convenient, and you don't even need to get out of your car to order it. Like you can just drive up and beep them, and they'll come out and give you food. And people don't really walk around a lot, and it's more effort to be healthy here in Dubai. And also the quality of food. I feel like if I'm comparing to Australia, it's not as great.
I do think the same. I think, especially with meat, I really struggle with like lamb here.
Yeah.
I can't eat beef. I don't like beef. So like, when I go try fry lamb, I can't, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah, even like chicken doesn't taste the same.
But it's because they're imported, right?
Yeah, it is.
But look, there's an interesting thing you said earlier, which was that for me as well, especially like as a Muslim, we believe everything for us is written already. And this is a concept that came to me when I was a little bit younger, and just kind of going through a similar transformation journey, which was like just changing my mindset and changing how I think about my environment and things. And I came across this thing where like, I was watching this lecture on YouTube, and he was just saying like, there's a few things that are already confirmed for you. Like there's nothing you can do to change it, which is the day you're born, how much money you make in this world, the day you die. And I think there's a few other things. But the one where he said like how much money you make in this world is already written. So no matter what you do, you can't change that. God has already written how much you're going to get. So if you're destined to make $1 million, you're going to make it somehow at some point.
Okay.
Right? But so with that in my mind, I started doing business so differently, because I was just like, if this isn't meant for me, then it's just not going to be mine. Yeah. And then I come across this quote that I love so much, and it's like, what's meant for me will always be mine, and what's not meant for me shall pass me. And so now when I'm doing work, like when I'm doing business and like with my clients and stuff like this, I think of it so differently. And I've also like implemented it in how I feel as a person. Yeah. So it's like, before I used to be like, oh, I haven't got the money now, I'm trying to do. Now I'm just like, I ain't got the money now. If it's meant, it's gonna come at some point.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think like it's true. If something is meant for you, it won't pass you. And I believe that, like, you know, praying for something, like making dua for something can might change the course, you know. It really just depends.
But that's an interesting one, because think about it. It's already set.
Yes.
But you have free will to want it.
Yeah. I think like...
So maybe you can't change it, but what you making dua for is already written that you're going to do is for you to get it. Yeah,
it's true. So maybe I contradicted myself there. I don't know. I have a lot of different thoughts. Like sometimes I think that, okay, like the final, you know, destination might be written, but then I feel like there's many paths that we can take, like on our journey here on earth. So like when you make dua, then it might change like the type of journey you go to get there. Because like you hear a lot of things about, you know, people being like infertile and then like making dua to have a baby, and then they do, well, you know, you hear these like stories. So
you know how I see that, like obviously we're already told our life is written. It's already like God's already written it before he was born, right? In our religion. And so when someone's making dua or prayer, let's say, for those that don't know, you're basically, it was already written that you was going to make that prayer for it to happen. So you're not changing paths. You just got the free will.
But do you think the free will exists?
Yeah, I mean, we were given free will. As I said, we're given free will to decide what we want to do, but it's already decided. But we have the power to choose what we want to do. But what we choose to do is already written. He already knows.
Yeah, I believe this. It made sense to me. I think that we can miss our blessings because of our choices.
But then that comes back to, if it's not meant for you, then it will pass you.
Yes, but sometimes we're just dumb and we like give and we give into things that we shouldn't, and we don't make the right decisions, and so we won't receive the blessing because we're not really doing the things that we're supposed to do. It's like me really wanting to lose weight and then just saying it and not making any kind of action towards it. I'm going to miss the blessing of that. And maybe I'm praying for it as well, but I'm not, and I've been giving every opportunity to lose the weight, and I'm not, then I'm blocking my own blessing in that sense.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I also think when the time was right, it was right. It was just meant to happen when it was meant to happen. Like you couldn't do nothing about it. And some of us, like, I think the same sometimes, you know, sometimes I miss out on opportunities in business and I'm just like, damn, why did I make that move?
Yes. In this sense, like, I agree. Sometimes like we'll miss something and it will be our fault, but it's because it's not meant to be. And sometimes like the only way for us to kind of know is to make a mistake or to do something wrong. Because then like we know that this is not meant for us, and then we kind of have to learn something in order to get to where we want to be. But then I think about, like, for example, like being a good person versus being a bad person. And I do believe like what you're putting out will then reflect back to your life in general. So if you're kind of always making mistakes, like the chances of you kind of, without making any type of change, getting to where you're praying for, I don't know. I just feel like
I get what you're saying, and what you're saying does make sense. I can see why you were feeling like that. I just think personally that no matter what, right, it just wasn't meant for you. If it didn't come your way, and if it did come your way, it was meant for you. Like your journey probably wouldn't have been the same if you decided you wanted to lose weight at the age of 10.
No, I agree. And when I look at like my journey, I'm like, this was definitely the path that was very meant for me. Like, I think my weight loss started as weight loss, but it changed my entire life. Like, I feel like there was me before weight loss and then me like after weight loss and onwards. And if I didn't go through that journey, I probably would not be here in Dubai. I would not have achieved any of the things that I achieved. Like, I wouldn't be living this life at all. So sometimes like one thing that you do, actually everything that you do kind of has an effect on the rest of your life and the journey you go towards. So, but had I not kind of listened to myself back then, or my intuition, or whatever it might have been, I probably wouldn't be the type of person I am.
Exactly.
And,
and it's not even just about the weight loss journey. No. You change your mindset.
Yeah, like
you start studying things about yourself.
Yeah, the biggest, like, besides my body changing, my whole brain changed completely for the best. Like, that was like the biggest takeaway from my weight loss, that I developed habits and a mindset that really served me. Whereas previously, like, my mindset and my habits didn't serve me.
So knowing everything you went through now, so just imagine, everything that you went through the journey, you can recollect right now in your mind. You knew what changes you made that turned out to be good and what changes you made that turned out to be bad for you. Everything up until yesterday. Yeah. Okay. What would you tell your younger self right now?
In terms of...
Just what advice would you give your younger self?
I think I would tell my younger self to just like be a lot kinder to myself. And that like you're gonna get to anywhere you want to be. Like if I look back at my younger self, she would be so like... I think she would almost not believe that I am who I am now. Because like when I look at who I am now, my job, the way that like I live my life, like I think like my younger self would look up to someone like that. So if I could go back and kind of give advice, it would be like, you're going to be who you look up to. So like just be a bit kinder to yourself, and like it will all work out. It's really fine.
I like that, and a lot of our guests always say, you know, it will work out.
Everything
which also shows
does.
like a lot of us, like in our personal life, when we go home, we're like, you know, this isn't going right, and why isn't this way? But when you decide to talk to your younger self, you're like, it's going to turn out fine. So like subconsciously, you know, your life isn't that bad.
No, I mean, life is not. It's not that deep, anyways. Like, it's just life. Like, we're just living.
Yeah.
And things, of course, they're going to work out. We're not going to be in the same position forever, regardless. Things change no matter what. Like, we're going to change, we're going to grow, and we might go through a season of really difficult times. It's okay. Like, I feel like this is a character building time. This is where, like, the best is yet to come, because when you're in a really difficult time or a low season in your life, like, you need to gather strength, and you need to learn, and you need to like kind of climb back up, so that once you get there, then you've come out kind of like a new person, ready to take on whatever it is that you're praying for, whatever it is that you want. And sometimes we can't get there unless we go through a lot of hardship to strengthen whatever it is that we need strengthening, whether it be like our discipline or to learn something or to be ready for it. Like, I always have the analogy, like, you know, if you were to get pregnant, like, you don't get pregnant and have birth straight away. Like, you will get pregnant, you have 9 months to kind of prepare to be a mother, and to kind of, you have 9 months for that. So it's similar in life. Like, if I ask for this today and I'm not there yet, then life will then take me on that journey. And that journey is going to be hard. Like, it might be like my down season to kind of get to where I need to be. So that's the way that I look at life.
It's interesting because, I mean, the other thing as well is, like, I've been speaking to people of all different ages. Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like, some people are 40 years old and they're just learning something new about their life that really changes it. And we have to remember, like, hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, we live up until, inshallah, we live until our 90s, 100s, healthy. I don't want to be bedbound, but inshallah, we live healthy till old age. And we've only lived, I mean, I've only lived 28 years of my life, and I still have like 60 odd to go. Yeah. So it's like, if you put that into perspective, this is going to be mine now. You know, it's going to be my new to look when I'm like 50. I'm like, this 20-year-old has said this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I look back at these podcast episodes, I'm gonna be like, what was I even thinking? Do you know what I mean?
But like, it's just like, also all we have is just now.
Yeah.
Like we really just have today. Like even just a few seconds ago is like no longer a thing.
Yeah.
So we just have like right now. And when we kind of look at life like that, it's okay. Like day by day.
Agree.
Yeah.
I think day by day is one of the best things that I also tell myself every day. I'm like, just focus on today. Even when like I'm trying to build new habits, I'm like, if I can get through today, I'll think about tomorrow.
Yeah. It's definitely like the easy way to go, because sometimes we get caught up. Like we'll think like of like a month from now or 2 months from now, and then we get overwhelmed, and then that's usually when we give up. But if you just every day say, okay, like today, like I'll just get through today, or I'll do it today. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're like, okay, today, just today. And then you do this every day. Eventually you're just going to do it every day.
Yeah.
Whereas if we think like such long time, like I have to do it for a month, like it seems like such a long time. So we need to kind of just simplify things.
And looking back makes you feel so much better about how far you've come.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the podcast, there's a segment that I play.
Okay.
It's called Child's Play.
Okay.
So what I do is basically I'll give you like a word or a sentence.
Okay.
And you tell me the first thing that pops into your mind.
Okay.
And then I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So first word, best friend.
Iman.
Okay. From childhood or from...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So can you share a memorable story from your childhood about your best friend? That she'll be happy for you to share.
I have so many memories with her. Like, it's so funny because I think like a lot of my memories with her are just like us laughing like at nothing. Like we're just a bit stupid, both of us. So there's no one like specific memory that comes to mind, but I would say like just always like laughing with her. Yeah. And just being like completely me with her.
So the actual follow-up question is, how did that friendship shape who you are today?
I think she made me feel safe to just be myself.
Nice.
Like in whatever way, serious way, in a non-serious way, like stupid things that might come out of my brain or whatever it might be. She's just doesn't care, like whatever.
She's a good friend.
Yeah.
Okay, first memory with your mum.
My first memory with my mum.
Like, what's the first thing that shoots in your mind when I say that?
That's so interesting that nothing came to my brain.
Really?
Yeah, like I have like a flood of memories, but they're kind of recent. Like,
Okay, so the game, obviously, you have to do the first thing that pops into your head.
Yeah, but like,
in this case,
actually, nothing kind of.
What's the furthest memory you have of your mum? Like with your mum?
Furthest, I have memories, but like in terms of.
Yeah, what's the furthest memory you have of your mum? With your mum?
With my mum. It's so weird because sometimes when I look back, like I can't really remember a lot of my childhood, which probably means that there's some type of trauma there that my brain is blocking out. I have memories of like my mom, of course, like of us, like my birthday party. Like, I don't know if you do this in the UK, but like McDonald's has like birthday parties.
Oh, so, with the slide and everything. Yeah.
So like I guess just now as I'm talking to you, like memory popped up of like, this could have been like, my 6th birthday party. My mom, and like she invited my teacher because I asked her to.
Nice.
It's like, loved my teacher back then. It's a very random memory that just popped up, but it's nice. Yeah.
Nice. My follow-up question is, how do you think it influenced your relationship with her and others as you grew up? So maybe even the fact that she invited your teacher and stuff. Like, do you feel like the fact that there was, because I mean, I can imagine, right? Like as a child, you want your friends there. The fact that you want your teacher there.
Yeah, I did. I mean, my friends were also there, but like I think it's like me.
And what is a teacher doing at a 6-year-old's birthday party?
No, she was just, we were close, and I just loved her. She also came, like she did come to my birthday. But I think like one thing overall about my mom is that whenever I look back, like anything I want to do or do not want to do or whatever, she's just like, okay, like not in a spoilt way, but more just like, yes, like, if that's what you want to do in your life, then you can go and do it. Or if you don't feel that this is right, because I'm quite opinionated, then okay, like you're valid in not thinking that it's right. So she's never been like fighting with me in these things.
Okay. So how do you think that shaped your relationship with people? the fact that your mum would let you be you.
It just made me do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Like
do you expect that from people now though? Like, because your mum was like that for you growing up, do you expect people to be...
You know, I'm a bit different. I don't really have expectations of people like that.
Okay.
So I don't really, it depends, of course. Like if you're very close to me, then I would value your opinions and stuff. But overall, I don't really care if someone like thinks it's right or wrong or whatever. I don't know. I don't expect them to kind of, I don't expect people to maybe support whatever it is that I do or do not want to do. So yeah, in terms of like general people or even people that might be my friends,
you just don't care.
I just don't really care. But I would care, or I would value an opinion more if you're very close to me. So it would like my sister or like my best friends, like my couple of best friends. That's where I would maybe value what they have to say more because they know me very well.
Okay.
So their opinion might come from knowing me, but still at the end of the day, like I think I know myself better than anyone. And that's kind of why I don't really care so much for other people's support or if they think it's right or wrong. I think I came to a point between myself where I trust myself enough to make the decisions that I make without needing that external kind of, I don't know, validation from other people or expecting it, because expectations are my responsibility.
Yeah.
If I set an expectation, and especially if I don't voice it to you, then if you don't meet that expectation, it's not really your fault. I'm the one who said it. So it's my responsibility.
That's interesting. That mindset's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good one to have for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one to have. Sometimes like, you need to have expectations of people because it kind of sets boundaries, or you kind of just know what to expect. You might not, but it also helps you just not being disappointed at all.
I like that. I like that. Which I think I might have to try doing that.
Try it.
The next word, family vacation.
Egypt.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So my follow-up question, can you recall a family vacation that left, can you recall the trip to Egypt that left a lasting impression on you? And how did that experience shape your perspective on family and relationships?
Like I remember going, me and my mom, my dad, my sister, to Egypt. I think it could have been the first time or the second time, and just meeting all my family. I have a lot of family. I think I have like 70 cousins or something. So like meeting all of them and just kind of feeling this like family, like everyone is kind of like, this is what life is. I remember kind of thinking that and feeling that and just having fun with family, because in Australia I have family there, but not like I do in Egypt. So it kind of just shaped this whole like what family actually is. And I think before that I didn't really know what family is other than like my parents and my sister and maybe like my uncles and a couple of cousins. But then when I went there, I was like, no, this is what family is. It's just like, you all kind of come from the same and you get it. You all understand, and was
this the first time you met them, these cousins?
Yeah. And like they're in similar age to me, so it was just fun. Like, and we just got along like friends, but we all kind of shared similar experiences because, you know, like our parents would be like brothers or sister or whatever it might be. So we kind of understood each other on a different level than you would like your friends.
That's crazy because, you know, when I go on family vacations, hold on. So I've never been I don't remember being on a family vacation with just my mom, dad, and my siblings.
Okay.
But I remember going family vacations with like my mom, dad, siblings, and my cousins and their parents. And after those were like the best trips, you know. And now, like I can't go on a holiday without having another person there.
Oh, okay.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, whether I'm with my family or whatever, like, it has to be like my cousins need to come or a friend needs to come. Like, I don't, because of that, because of how good the experience has been, I can't imagine like doing a holiday just alone.
Yeah, I've traveled solo quite a bit.
You?
Yeah, and I don't know, every time I travel without my family, I always feel bad because I wish that they were there, especially my sister. But actually solo travel is nice. You should try it for sure.
Where did you go?
More recently I went to Bali. alone.
Really?
Yeah, which was just nice. I love nature.
What's that? Yeah, what's that like? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I've not seen anyone go there alone yet. So,
It's not. There's so many Aussies there. I was like, am I in Australia?
was it easy to connect with people?
Yeah, it is. Even though I don't mind not having the connection if I don't get it, if that makes sense. I was really there for the nature. So I went on a lot of hikes, waterfalls, just like places that had trees and like the jungle and all of that, and like monkeys and stuff. That was my time. That was my time in Bali, basically. I did have a tour guide, so he kind of just drove me around and took me around, and I was very happy to just chill out. I don't mind being alone.
What made you go alone?
I was in Australia visiting, and then I thought I'll just stop by Bali on my way back to Dubai because it is like in the middle. And yeah, like I didn't really care to. I don't care to ask anyone to come with me. I just
That's
went.
interesting. Yeah.
It's nice though, but I really enjoy my own company, so I like doing these things. But traveling with someone is always way better. You make memories, you have experiences. It's nice, but the solo trips are also.
I just don't like being in my own mind. I can talk myself into some dark times. You know what I mean? So I try not to.
That's interesting. I think like once you get comfortable with the thoughts that you have, because the way I kind of trained myself to be comfortable is I'm like they're just thoughts, and it's just me between me. So there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just me. Like it's no one's hearing them. Like I can be comfortable with myself, and then.
But you know what happens with me? Yeah, I get in this thing. Yeah, like I love being alone.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'd hate what happens when I'm alone for too long.
Okay.
And what happens when I'm for too long is I start thinking, which is the worst thing I can do.
Okay.
And then I start putting myself in this wormhole, right?
Okay.
So imagine this, Let me paint the picture for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sitting and I'm just like either working on a computer or watching TV, and something just reminds me of something from back in the days.
Okay.
And now I'm in the wormhole.
Okay.
And I start thinking about every scenario around that. So what did that lead to this? Oh, what's this person doing? And oh, this, da, 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 right? Then I get into this place where like I just feel sad.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So then what I start doing is I start looking for music that makes me feel what I'm feeling even more.
Okay.
And then and then when I finally find that song, I feel what I'm feeling times 100.
Okay.
And I'm gone.
Okay. So this is why I think like music is not good for us.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the reason. But I think like it just really depends, because thoughts are just thoughts and feelings are just feelings, and they'll pass. And I think like when you learn to not be scared of that and allow yourself to just like be curious, like let the thought come and go and pass, that's when like you'll have the thought and you'll be like, oh, and then that's it.
I just feel like the music just helps me feel what I'm feeling more.
Which is good, because you should feel what you're feeling. Because like in order to let an emotion go, you have to feel it, especially like a negative emotion.
That's interesting.
Like,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like if you don't feel your feelings, because you can't think your way through something, because like then emotions gets trapped in your body, and then your body like gives you signals so that you might get sick or you might have some type of something's going on, and then if you don't feel your feelings and just let it pass, or like sit in that, then it will just eventually catch up to you.
I think that's the issue that a lot of us men have, is feeling our feelings.
Yeah. I think men have to kind of put up this front of toughness. Which I understand, and I understand as well, like that men are not really taught to kind of sit into their feelings and feel it, or they're told that it's like not really a thing, like it doesn't matter, like just get on with it.
Yeah, because a lot of us when we're younger we cry. They're like, why are you crying, you're a boy? You know what I mean? Like, don't cry, you're a boy, boys don't cry. But
it's just a human nature thing to like cry, like it's just like your body has to release it anyways. Like we can cry if we're happy as well, like it's really just human nature. And I think that like especially for men, that needs to be changed. Like men should feel comfortable. I
think we're getting there. I think slowly there are a lot of things happening slowly that are making it more open for men. Yeah,
I mean, you can be a tough man and still feel your feelings. Like you can be, you know, like an alpha male and whatever, and be a man and still like just if you're sad, you feel sad, and you just let yourself feel sad. Like it's very normal.
Okay. Next word.
Okay.
Yeah. Birthday wish.
Birthday wish. Birthday wish. So weird because nothing came to my mind.
Really?
Yeah, it's so weird. Birthday wish. What kind of birthday wish did I have? I don't know. I guess there would have been a present of some sort that I wanted.
Seems like you have a lot of blocks that you don't. You know what I mean?
I do. It's so weird because like as I'm thinking of what it is, I'm like memories are coming back of like different times or like different birthdays, but I don't really remember like what did I wish for. I don't know.
Does no wishes come to mind? Even something you made last year or the year? I know obviously we're too old to do birthday wishes. We don't believe in that anymore. But
yeah, I don't really do birthday wishes anymore.
But like your last birthday wish, like do you remember?
I mean, it was just my birthday, like a month ago, 2 months ago.
Oh, happy belated.
Thank you. I didn't wish for anything. I wanted to travel, and then I traveled.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Well, my follow-up question was going to be, did it ever come true and how do you view that wish now? But obviously you don't remember.
But that's a really good question.
I know. Yeah. You can text it to me next time. You can text me what the answer is.
Okay.
That'd be good to know. But
okay.
Next one, I hope you can think, I hope this one isn't blocked.
It's so crazy though, because like there's a lot of blocks in my childhood and I wonder why. Like I wonder what I'm trying to block out.
But this is the reason why, like I said, the reason why I started the podcast was because when I started therapy, I started like realizing there's a lot of blocks that I have, and a lot of it is because like I had a lot of trauma that I didn't deal with.
Yeah.
To the point where like I just forgot about it because I just tried so hard not to think about it. To the point where like I just don't think about it, and because I don't think about it, I've forgotten it.
Yeah, and our brain really tries to keep us safe, so it will purposely like just block out a memory, just because it's not going to serve us anymore. And this really comes from actual traumatic experiences. And sometimes we think that like trauma is like a huge thing that happens, but it could be anything. It could be you got bullied. It could be, I don't know, maybe arguments with your parents, or like it could literally be anything that is kind of minor, but it had a huge impact in your childhood, and then your brain just blocked it out because it's a bit too traumatic. And then memory loss is a trauma response basically.
Which is crazy. Like sometimes when I'm searching for a memory, like have you seen that video of the Hulk where like he's trying to become the Hulk but he can't do it? That's like me looking for a memory. Like where is this thing?
But then like through therapy or through like the right type of questions, or even like meditation and like quieting your mind, these memories can come back.
I think like even like one of the next question, the next word I wanted to say, it's like a happy one, hopefully. So I hope that this might bring back something, right? But okay, the next word is your favorite book or story.
From my childhood or just in general?
Like what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I wasn't much of a reader like in my childhood, but the first book that came to my mind is like a book called Who Says You Can't, You Do. That's like the first book that I ever read. Have you read it?
No, what is that?
Yeah, like that book changed my life completely. It literally can change my life.
What's it about?
It's basically about how your brain works, and how if you want something, I guess it's like kind of like, I hate to use the word like a manifestation kind of, but it really kind of teaches you how to call things into your life, and how like what you think will become the way that your life is. So life is life, and then your perception will make what your reality is. So no two people see the same thing because we all perceive things differently. So that book really, really changed my entire life and how I viewed everything. Because I'm like, okay, so if my thoughts kind of control the way that I'm looking at life, if I change my thoughts and look at life in a different way, then life will reflect back to me. And I did do that. And my life is changed so much. Like, things are way easier and smoother. And that's how I think life should be. I think life is easy, but we make it hard. By our thoughts and by the way we choose to look at things. I
agree. I think that book sounds interesting. Please send that to me.
I will send it to you. It's a good one.
But you answered my follow-up question.
Oh.
But that's child's play.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. I mean you get to explore someone's mind, and I guess the person also realizes they have some blocks that they might have not known.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun game, and it helps me a lot. It helps me think, like, it helps me realize what they think about first. Like, is it a negative thought or a positive thought that comes in first?
I wish I had better answers for you.
No,
I wish I didn't have blocks.
No, they were good, man. I like them. I wish you had a birthday wish answer.
Yeah, but honestly, even now I'm thinking, like, what is the birthday wish that I had? Like, I don't know. I can't even think of, like, I'm sure, like, I can remember, like I have memories of, like, me opening a present and being like, oh my God, like, I wanted this. I just don't, I can't see what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I mean, we'll get there. Maybe we'll bring you back in just for that question.
Yes.
All right. So to end the show,
Okay.
I also do this exercise.
Okay.
Right. So I want you to, like, kind of just, like, get comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Lean back a little bit. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Bring the mic a little bit closer to you, though.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. Imagine your bedroom door as a child, right? So the door that you had when you was a child, imagine what that door looks like.
Okay.
Go inside that door and you see your child self. What would you say to that child that you're seeing right now?
I would say, like, you're going to be everything that you want to be.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can open your eyes now.
Okay, cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the things that, like, every child needs to hear. And I always think about when I have children, like, what message am I going to give them? Because, you know, a lot of my trauma was passed down from my parents. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to deal with it now before I have any kids, so then I don't pass it down.
I mean, a lot of things are just generational. Like, if we look at the way that our parents raised us, they're pretty much just doing what their parents did to them. And then, like, we're kind of the generation that is changing so that we can raise our kids better. Because like, if we fix ourselves, then we'll offer our best versions to our children. We won't really project onto them. We'll be able to kind of, like, build them up in a different way. Not to say that our parents didn't do right. Like, of course they did. They only, you know, taught us from what they knew. So, but, like, their fears, as a parent, like, their fears, their worries, like, they're humans too. I remember when I started looking at my parents as, like, not parents and just people, and it really changed my perspective, because they're they're humans, like, they're people with, like, experiences, fears, like, worries. They feel sad, they feel happy, and then, like, they also have a child to look after. And if they're not feeling good or they're scared about something, of course they're going to teach that to their child. And for them, it's, like, the best thing that they could have done. So they only taught us from what they know, and so then we can then now, as we learn things, we can teach our children from what we know in a better way for them to kind of have a better quality of life.
And to be fair, I think every child is going to go through some sort of trauma, regardless. It's nothing you can
human,
change.
Like, it's so normal. Traumatic experiences are really a part of life, and some go through more dramatic trauma in their childhood or in life in general, and some people just have a little bit of trauma. But everyone, like, there's no one who's, like, completely all good. Fully, like, there's no one.
There's definitely no one. Well, look, that's the end of the show.
Okay.
But it's been a pleasure to have you.
Yes, it was nice to be here.
Yeah, I really love hearing about your journey. I definitely want to show people what you was like throughout the journey, because I know you've been vocal about it.
Yeah.
So if you're okay with me sharing some stuff, please send me some stuff.
I will. I'll send you some photos.
Stuff that are approved by you for me to share.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
But yeah, where can people find you on socials?
What's Naz Moustafa on Instagram and on TikTok.
Okay. And anything else that you want to?
No, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think I have a lot of, like, weight loss things on my TikTok. So if they, I don't know, I guess if people want to hear a little bit more, then they can go on there.
Okay, nice. All right, perfect.
Cool.
Well, thanks for being a guest.
Thanks for having me.
And it was a pleasure talking to you. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon.
Yes, for sure.
I'm still trying to figure out how we end the show. I mean, it's still new to it. So, but yeah. We can do.